Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about overtraining during COVID-19 because a lot of people are going out and doing too much training and don't realise. So I'm going to go through this and some little tips how to focus on other stuff. So, COVID-19 has hit us, and lots of countries have gone into lockdown or allowing you to just go out to exercise, which means it's giving people a lot of time on their hands. Now, this is the problem because this does affect your training, and you could be going into overtraining mode, which is obviously not good. So, firstly, there are some signs if you're overtraining is that your sleep will you'll struggle with your sleep, and you'll see your training going backwards. So that's like two key signs. You'll be slowing down and you'll be feeling fatigued a lot. So what do you do? So I've seen it on the I've seen it on Instagram, on Strava. People going out running as much as they can 7 days a week, and they're not used to running 7 days a week, or training in the morning, in the evening, like on a treadmill, and they're not used to it. Well, you're overtraining, and you're not doing. You actually it's gonna end in tears. You're gonna get injured, and the problem is your body's gonna break down, and you're not recovering. So I've got 4 key tips that I work with. I mean, I've had to change my training up, and obviously I can't swim at the moment because the pools are shut. But I have changed it up, and I've backed off from speed sessions, etc. My coach, Mark Shepherd, is very for zone 2 training, and so am I. Easy training as well. Easy should be easy, and hard days should be hard, and that should be in your structured plan, no matter what, all year round when you're training. So for me, I've stopped. Like for example, I do 2 speed sessions a week, for example, running, and 2 key bike sessions a week. So that'd be Tuesday and a Friday, and that'd be my really hard sessions. So I've stopped that Tuesday session, and that's just a zone 2 training, low heart rate, because we don't know when race is going to be going. I mean, my European Championship race is meant to go ahead on the 8th of August in Sweden. I personally can't see that happening now. So there's no point me trying to peak now or peaking early and not getting carried, and especially not getting carried away. So my first tip is rest. Rest is crucial. So in any structure, rest is so important. People neglect rest, and they think they have to keep running or keep training because they can get quicker and quicker. Rest should be in your plan on a weekly basis, even if it's just 1 day rest a week. Now, rest means rest. Rest doesn't mean going and doing cross training, cycling, anything else. Rest is complete rest from what exercises you do. Your body then rebuilds, recovers, and you make a lot of gains from resting. So that's where you make the improvements as well. So rest is very key. I mean, when I have a big race coming up, I will start tapering, and I'll take 2 days rest, maybe the week before and the week leading up to it as well. So I'm in the best shape. People do think that if they rest, they will go backwards and lose their fitness, which is not the case. Of course, if you rest up for 2-3 weeks doing nothing, then of course your fitness is gonna completely nosedive. But with you could have 3 days rest, won't do anything to your fitness. A lot of athletes turn up to races injured or rested from injuries, and they've had like 7 days off, and they're still winning races, for example. So rest is crucial. Second thing is back off your training. Now is the time to focus on something else and back off your training. There's no need for you to go and run marathons in your training or long runs when there's simply no races on at the moment. And if you've got, like, for example, London Marathon could be going ahead in October, why do you need to be training for the marathon now? It's too early. Just get some base miles. Bring it back a bit. So if you were doing 2-hour runs, just keep it to 50-minute runs or an hour runs, or just easy running, and have a structure, work on something, have a focus that you want to work towards. It might be your form, your technique, for example, something like that, or even working on strength work instead of some running. So my next thing is that you need to look at your weaknesses. So this is the time now to work on your weaknesses and improve them so they're not weaknesses anymore. So in normal training for me, for example, last year I used to do 4 runs in a typical week, 2 strength sessions, 4 swims, and 3 bike sessions. So I was just getting used to the bike, and that was my weakness, the bike. So this year I cut back a swim session and on the running a little bit, and I'm doing more bike sessions, so 4 or 5 bike sessions a week, and that is my weakness, and that's for me is where I'm going to get the most gains when I compete in triathlon. Obviously everything's gone pear-shaped with COVID-19 at the moment, and that's another issue. But when you look at your weaknesses, you need to make sure you work on them. A lot of people make many mistakes, for example, and like triathletes, for example, will work on running, and that could be their strongest point, or their swimming, and they'll keep working on that. But you only improve a little bit at a time. Whereas if you work on your weakness, you can get a lot of improvement and more time, and then you can maintain the others. So working on your weakness, so it could be anything, like, for example, running, you could be looking at your form, so you could be working on strides, strength stuff as well, so you could be looking at improving the way you run, like high knees, things like that, your technique, your arm technique, so things like that. With swimming, obviously swimming is difficult if you can't swim in a pool or swim outdoors and you're homebound. Obviously strength is key to that, so it's important to keep using the muscles and working on those muscles for swimming. And you might not normally do that, you might just get in a pool and just swim, for example, so that's another good thing to work on. And for example, cycling, you can work on your weakness. It could be like you haven't got a lot of speed, so maybe you want to implement small speed sessions or something, or even go a little bit longer but easy because you want the endurance. So it's important that you work on your weaknesses and why you can, so you can improve. So lastly, I'm going to discuss that eating healthy. Eating healthy is so important. First of all, I am shocked the amount of people that don't drink a lot of water. So firstly, water is like fuel in a car. So when you've done a session, for me, when I do a session or before and after a session, I always rehydrate, and you have to be hydrated. I drink a lot of water, and I mean a lot of water, and it flushes out the muscle soreness. It stops delayed muscle soreness, onset muscle soreness, sorry, and also I think it helps with recovery as well. It's important that you're hydrated and your body is always hydrated. And I get a lot, and especially when it's getting warmer, a lot of people say I'm getting calf cramps halfway through my run, or get pins and needles, and this is very common when you're not hydrated. So it's important to keep to drink water and keep healthy, especially with COVID-19. It is important to keep healthy, and your immune system needs to be at its highest. So you don't want to be suppressing it from going too hard on training and not eating healthy. So you want to stay fit and healthy to fight off any infections. So eating healthy, so things like eating fresh fruit, of course that's it's common sense, veg, not eating ready meals and making your own like cooked meals, and eating like food that doesn't like last for weeks and weeks, normally like a lot of fresh food, because that's good nutrients. So there's sort of things that you want to have in like a daily day of your training and your daily week of daily day of eating and your diet. So basically that's my 4 tips. So just wanted to say thanks for listening, and basically I think it's important that you back off a bit and you don't overdo it at the moment, and stay healthy. You don't need to be going hard, as long as you've got like your base training, like I call it, like normally I call it off-season training, and you just build up a base slowly, and then you get ready, and then you start going into the peaking cycle and stuff like that. So you bring it back a bit, back off a bit of training, like have a well-structured plan. And as I said in my previous video about heart rate training, zone 2 training, so easy days easy, hard days hard. Take a few of the hard days out, or one of the hard days out, and just work more on easy based training, and for that way you'll be efficient, you'll build the endurance, and you'll get faster in the long run, and you won't get any injuries. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you.